Hi y'all, how y'all doing? Do-rag color of the day is purple. Hi. So, what do I feel like talking about today? Well, Man United. That's all. That's what I'm going to talk about. I feel like talking about Man United. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Premier League table reads like this. It reads, in first place, Liverpool. In second place, Manchester City. And the third place is who? Who's third place? I can't remember. Who's third? Oh, Manchester United came in. Oh, we came in third. Oh, we did a madness, didn't we? We did a whole. It was when I tell you, Man United versus Leicester. I was in my room praying to Almighty God that we won that game. When we got the penalty, I was on my knees. I was begging God to please let us just score that penalty because the amount of pressure that we were under, the amount of fatigue our players were feeling. I could only hope. That's all I could say. I was just hoping. I could just hope and pray. But from what I'm looking at right now, third place, in the way this team is moving, we're moving pretty mad. I'm not going to be one of those people who says, hey, I think we're going to be like challenging for the title or whatever. But I do think if we hit this transfer window right, I think there is a chance that we stay in that top four race and maybe challenge for like third, second, and then see how we move in later transfer windows, okay? But Ollie gets a lot of credit here, especially for, like, I won't really delve too deep in the season because the season's pretty much over. We already know what happened. I'm gonna try and delve more into this transfer window. It's been a while since I have like delved that deeply into a transfer window because transfer windows in the past had like disappointed me. But the way Ali is moving right now is kind of wild. We're kind of moving like a big club again. If what I'm reading is right. And listen, I'm not claiming to be an in the know or anything. Listen, I live in the States. I live in Texas. Okay, I am as far away from Manchester United as humanly possible. I wish I was closer. I want to move to the Manchester or London. I want to move to London sometime in the foreseeable future. We'll see what happens, but yeah, London would be really fun. I really, 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 really want to move to London. But that's the topic for a different day. We'll have a conversation about that on a different day. That's a whole different situation. But football. All right, so from what I'm looking at, right, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done a madness in a way. He's done quite a madness if you think about it, because if you look at his signings, right, his first three signings, none of them can really be considered a flop, right? Daniel James, I think, has, is it 9 goal contributions? I think it's 9 goal contributions. And if you think about it, he wasn't supposed to be a regular. Like, he wasn't supposed to just like start games, but he did the job that Ollie needs him to do, especially in a time when we didn't have much creativity and we just had to hit teams on the break. Oh, Daniel James was beautiful for that because his pace is just, it's an outball. It's a beautiful outball. Like, his decision making needs to be worked on, but again, he's young. It's his first season in the Prem. He lost his dad. There's a lot of stuff that went into that, and I completely understand, and I think it's okay that we give him some time. Okay, that's fine. Daniel James can get all the time he needs. All right, but if we're talking about AWB and Harry Maguire has pissed me off sometimes, and I think what the issue is for him is Maguire's a classic center back in the sense that he's an intelligent center back, right? He uses his head. He uses his brain. I mean, he has a big head, but you know what I mean. He uses his head when he defends, right? He's not necessarily a proactive defender. Well, I mean, actually he is. He isn't, his style of defending is pretty proactive, not gonna lie. But he tends to use his head, especially in transition moments, because he doesn't necessarily have the pace to cover. He has to use his head and use his positioning beautifully. But the problem is Lindelof and him are they're so slow. Maguire's turn of pace is horrible. When this man gets spun, he's gone. He's out of the game. That's it. If you spin Harry Maguire, he's gone. Like, he's out of the game. He's finished. He doesn't have recovery pace, and Lindelof doesn't have recovery pace either. So there's no real defensive cover. Like, there's a lot of the mistakes that like Harry Maguire makes. It's like, oh yeah, he gets caught on the turn, right? And he's out of the game. But usually, if you have a quick partner cuts the danger out. He cuts in because you've gotten turned, right? All you can do now is try to get back into a position. That means, oh, you can defend, but you need your partner to shift over to the danger, right? To cover that danger for the guy that just turned you. And if he has recovery speed, right, he can get there quick, which allows him, he can slow down the attacker and allow you to come back into the game, right? And allow you to come back and get some sort of defensive shape to cover and, you know, stop the attack, maybe, right? It might not necessarily work against the like better attackers really, but it'll stop a lot of the stupid goals that we have conceded this season, right? But like I said, Lindelof doesn't have that turn of pace. Lindelof can't move like that. Lindelof moves like I love him. Don't pretend I don't love him. I love Victor Lindelof. He was one of my favorite center backs for a while, but he moves like he's in sleep paralysis. If you know what that, like, if you've ever been in sleep paralysis, you can't move, is what I'm trying to say. Lindelof moves like he's in the Matrix. It's wild. He's not quick, which is why it's wild, because Ollie has identified a target and said, yo, we need a left-sided center back, but we need a quick left-sided center back. And he's in the market right now. From what I'm seeing in reports from France, it looks like we have tabled a bid of, I think it's 30 million euros with add-ons for Gabriel, the Brazilian left-sided center back out of Lille, right? That's a smart move. That's a smart buy. That's a really intelligent, like, buy. If we get him for, I think that's 20-something million pounds, that's a good bit of business for Man United that I haven't seen in a while. And it's weird because it seems like we're trying to move early and efficiently. Like, we're kind of moving pretty efficiently, because, like, let's look at Jadon Sancho. From the reports that are coming out right now as well, it looks like we've agreed a fee with Dortmund, right? And that's 60 million up front and the rest in add-ons. That's superb business. I'm not one to like gas. I don't like Ed Woodward like that. I think he's an idiot. But it looks like Ollie's, because I know they have like a transfer tribunal now, where it's like a group of people who decide transfers with Ollie, and I think Mike Phelan's in that. Ed Woodward's in that. Who else? I know a couple of people are in that tribunal or whatever, and I know that we are still. I think reports are saying that we're looking at a director of football. I can only hope we're looking at a director of football, because I feel like that would move us even more massively. We'd be able to move like a proper big club. But back to what I was saying. So 60 million. Plus, that's beautiful business, bro. That's beautiful business. Because if you think, Dortmund have been asking for 120 million euros since, I don't know when, since the season. But if we've been able to bring that down to 60, maybe we pay 60 up front, like, oh yeah, we're giving you 60 million, that's it. Here's 60 million, right? But then we then say, all right, that's cool, but the rest of it, it's installments. We're just going to pay it off in installments. That's how it's going to be. That's beautiful business. That's beautiful business. Because what a lot of people don't realize about transfers is, like, they see, oh, 89 million for a player. that they think, oh, Manchester United just gave a club 80 million. That's not how it works. It's not how it works at all. A lot of clubs structure their payments, their transfer payments along the length of the contract, right? So the contract that the player has signed. So let's say it's a 5-year contract or a 4-year contract. So that transfer fee that is paid, like that is agreed, will probably be paid along those 4 years. So it's looking like what Man United are going to be like is like, hey, we'll give you 60 right now, and now let's go maybe 20 million next year, then or 40 million or 45 million or something, some nonsense like that. 40 million, 60, 40, 20, and then wait, hold on, 60, 45, 20, 15 or some nonsense number like that. Whatever, if it works, that's probably just a good example of it. But yeah, we're moving pretty mad. And from what it looks like, this deal might be announced by next week. Don't quote me, I don't know. But it's looking like Sancho to Man United might be coming, like, it might be really close by next week. I don't know if any news is breaking while I'm even making this video. I'll try to keep you updated. I will more than likely make a video when we sign a new target and see what happens. But I mean, we're moving pretty low key, pretty mad. Like it's kind of wild to the extent that I'm kind of proud to be a United fan, low key in the window. Like I know we're not necessarily getting our business early, and a lot of fans are kind of like, oh, look at City, they've already signed 2 players, but one player, Nathan Ake, they paid 41 million for him. They massively overpaid. And he's not necessarily, he's just a backup. Like City are paying 41 million pounds for a backup. That's ridiculous. That's stupid. Like, I know we spend a lot of money, but they spend ridiculous. Can you imagine 41 million for a bench option and they still want whatever. We're not going to talk about City. They suck. Whatever. If we're moving, I know we were linked to Raul Jimenez yesterday. I didn't think that story really had legs. My Twitter was kind of wild because me and my friend were talking about it. I don't think that move has legs. It just doesn't make sense in terms of like, Ollie has given us like clear transfer criteria. I think that the oldest he's willing to go is like 26, maybe 27. And he's not going any older than that. He's not, and you have to be quality. You have to be actual quality to like be brought in at that age. Maguire and Bruno, I think, are the only 2 signings that he's brought in that are even remotely that, right? And even the signings that we're linked to, nobody is even like, I think Gabriel is 22, Jaden is 20. Who else are we? Grealish is like 24, I think. Van de Beek is 21. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that. But he's identified what he wants, and he's said, okay, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this properly in the best way possible to mitigate finances, but also bring in quality. And the mistake a lot of a lot of people make is they tend to say, oh, we need depth. We need strength and depth. Like, why are we paying all this money for somebody who's going to be on the bench? But what you have to realize now is the game of football has become a who has the stronger. It's a team sport now, man. It's a team sport. Like that's facts. Football's a team sport. Soccer's a team sport. The way teams are set up now, you need strength. Like you need strength and depth. You need it. You can't avoid it. There's just nothing you can do about it. You need to have a strong squad, and that means having players that are good enough to start on other teams. Sit on your bench. Look at City. Bernardo Silva is a monster. Riyad Mahrez is probably one of their best players, can barely get a game in. Leroy Sané left for that reason. My man was like, bro, I'm too good to be on the bench. What are you doing? Like, can you play me, Pep? Like, what's going on? Aguero gets benched. Jesus gets benched. I don't rate Jesus, but that's again conversation for a different day. We'll talk about that on a different day. But everyone gets rotated, and there's always a viable starting option on the bench. Like, that's ridiculous. That's stupid. That's stupid. But we need to get on that level because Liverpool is the same thing. If Hendo doesn't start, Keita starts. Naby Keita. And Naby Keita has hit form. Like, he's moving mad. He's a baller. That man is a baller. But look at that. Like, Fabinho. All of Liverpool's midfield options, because, you know, their midfield is their engine room. Look at that. Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Hendo, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita. That's ridiculous. Five starting quality. These men would start for any team in the league, bro. All of them would start for any team in the league, and they're all on Liverpool's bench. Can you imagine? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But Man United has to start moving that way, and in order to do that, we got to spend some, not ridiculous money, but we got to spend money on some bench options. So I guess the best thing to do now would be I'm gonna just give you my recommendations on transfers I feel like we should make. I know what all is looking like. It's looking like we might get 3, but I think Man United are gonna pull some stuff in this window that a lot of us didn't expect. I think we might find some moves that people didn't realize, because we've also been we've been linked to like an 18-year-old left back out of France. I think he's a George Mendes client. I think he's in Ares. I can't remember his. He has some long, wild name. Like, it's really wild. I can't remember. I don't have the energy to look it up either. But he has some wild name. But that's fine. All it is we're looking for like targets that, if they're not ready to start, they're at least young enough where you think, oh, they can take their time and like get amazing, because their underlying numbers look good. Their underlying numbers look great. So I think for me, we need a left back, we need a center back. We definitely need a defensive midfielder, and I feel like that position is probably the most important. And there are 2 options for that position that I think would work in 2 different routes that Man United might want to take, depending on how they want to approach that situation. But left back, center back, left-sided center back, defensive midfielder, right winger, and if it was up to me, if I could do it, if I could run Man United, I would get 2 more midfielders, because I feel like our depth in midfield is horrible. I absolutely. Who's on our bench? Juan Mata, Jesse Lingard, Andres Pereira in our mid. Come on, bro. Come on. We need more. We need depth. So honestly, for a left back, I would go. There are quite a couple options, but I think I would go young. For left back, because Luke Shaw's kind of doing a madness right now. He's kind of really important. There's a lot of maps that show how Man United play football as of right now, at least a new system under Ollie. And if you don't think Ollie has a system in place and patterns, you don't know ball. But that's a different conversation. Shaw is key to our ball retention, and it was kind of really noticeable when he wasn't in the team, how easily teams like seem to just like blow past us, because Shaw has a really good passing link with every single member of the team, right? So pretty much every member in this chart that I read, every member of the team outside of Martial has a good link of passing, like a good passing chain with Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is literally the center of our like weirdly enough, he makes us tick. Kind of. Because a lot of our attacks come from the left side, he makes us tick. He makes without him, Rashford doesn't really know what to do because Rashford feels like he now has to occupy that channel and create, and he doesn't want to be doing that. He wants to be moving madness. But I will also think that's due to fatigue. So I think that might be a couple of things. But we need a left-sided center back who can, not left-sided center back, a left back who can actually attack man, like beat a man one-on-one, smack him out, take him out the game, and then whip a cross in or something, or find a good final ball. And I think we might be able to. It's better to look young, for that. Try to find somebody young that Ollie can like mold into something good. But I feel like that would probably be the best option. Now left sided center back. That's kind of a weird shout because I think we're also gonna go young. I think we're probably gonna get Gabriel because we don't tend to bid on players like that. Like we don't really tend to get into bidding wars unless we know we're gonna win them. I feel like we are kind of best placed to win it because we're offering Champions League football and no other team that's in for him is. So I feel like, hey, yo, if we decide, hey, come on, what are you gonna do? You're gonna say no to Champions League football? Come on, stop that. For the DM role, now this is hard. So I feel like two options, and I said it in my last video. Thomas Partey is perfect for me. Like I think he's legitimately the perfect option in the sense that, because I know Ollie likes to blood the youth, and I feel like he kind of sees James Garner in that Michael Carrick role, like picking up passes and, you know, dictating the tempo of a midfield. But James Garner needs 2 seasons on loan. I know he's going to get loaned out this season, probably to Swansea. It's looking like, more than likely, it's going to look like Swansea in the Championship. But we need somebody short term to at least help Matic can't play that for like his entire, he can't play that for an entire season. His legs go, like he's too old for that. And it doesn't look like McTominay wants to do. McTominay's a box-to-box midfielder. I said that in my last video. McTominay is not a defensive midfielder. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He has this youthful energy, and I say that as like, I'm not 20, like I don't have youthful energy. This man wants to roam forward. He has a habit of just roaming. He likes to just move forward. Like he just naturally likes to step forward. He doesn't have the discipline to play DM, and I think he needs to be coached into that. And I think he's getting help from Matic. We might see a better Scott McTominay next season, I want to say, hopefully, because he'll have had time to really train in that position to take Matic's spot. I think that's just a me thing, okay? I don't think we're gonna get a DM. I think McTominay is gonna be that stopgap. If he's not good enough, I think we'll probably go for a DM in January, but I think by then it's probably too late. But that's a different thing. Whatever. That's one of the things I don't like about Man United. Like we tend to identify problem positions, but then we don't really move on them in the way that I would like sometimes, especially with this DM role. I don't know what the problem is. We've needed a DM for like 3 seasons, and we just don't have a good one. We brought Matic, but like, okay, he's old. We brought him when he was old. Thomas Partey is 27. He's 27. He's 27 and one of the best DMs in the world, bro. Like, that's facts. If he came to the Prem, not only does he have elite defensive numbers, he has elite dribble numbers, elite passing numbers. Like, it's a no-brainer. The man would be perfect for your system. Like, I don't get it. He's played in a 2. He's played lone DM. The man has played right back, for God's sake. Get Thomas Partey. He has a release clause. It's 40 mil. Just tell Atleti, hey, yo, we'll give you 20 mil right now, and then we'll cut the losses, and we'll probably just spread it out, right? Just do that. That's easy, bro. I just told you. Do it. Just do it. Man United, if you ever see this video, which you probably won't, just do it, okay? Nike, whatever, you know, the Nike swoosh, just do it, my guy. Please, just do it, all right? But if we don't go for Partey, which we're not gonna go for Partey, I pray every day that we go for Partey, but I don't think we're gonna go for him. If we don't, I mean, then I think our next best option would be drumroll. Declan Rice. Declan Rice is a monster. I don't want to hear any Declan Rice slander. I've been on Declan Rice's hype train since the beginning of the season, and when all Manchester United fans were saying, "Oh, but he's not good," nah. I man was scoring screamers, scoring bangers, okay? Just pelting them. The man is so good. And he started working on his passing range. He's a better passer than he was last year. And if you look at it, he's West Ham's player of the year. He's captain material, and he played every single game this season. Do you know what that is? Matic can't do that. Who's doing that? Every single Premier League game this season. The only person on our team who did that, Harry Maguire. That's it. That's the only person who did that. Maybe De Gea? I don't know. I don't know if De Gea. Maybe De Gea. I can't remember. Maybe De Gea, I guess. But Harry Maguire is the first outfield player to do that for United in a while. But Declan Rice playing DM in West Ham was the first name on the team sheet every single week. And he never got dropped. Never got dropped. Played every single game. He's a monster. He's a monster. The only thing is he's young, okay? So that's pretty much saying, hey, James Garner, you might have to play either with him and rotate, or you can play Paul's position. Because I do think James Garner, low-key, he has some ping on him, bro. He can low-key pick a pass. If I've watched him in the youth team a little bit this season, and he's really started adding goals to his game, oh, he's a monster. He's really good. Like, he's low-key pretty decent. Him and Levitt are, like, they ping masters, bro. They just start spraying balls. But, okay, if we're going to get a DM, I think that's what we need. Right wing, Jadon Sancho. We're going to get him. Quote me. I don't care. We're getting Jadon Sancho. He's pretty much already a United player. I believe that. I don't care. He's going to be a Man United player. So I'm not worried too much about him. But the center midfielders are where I kind of worry, because I know we're in for Jack Grealish, but I think Jack Grealish might low-key get priced out of a move. But I think, honestly, that one, the Jack Grealish one, is gonna like feed till maybe the end of the transfer window, because what it's looking like is Jack is gonna have to force a move, and I don't think he wants to do that right now. I think he wants to like see and weigh up his options, because if Villa had gotten relegated, we get Jack Grealish pretty quick. But it's looking like Villa stayed up, so it's not looking like Villa stayed up. Villa stayed up by the skin of their teeth. But Jack is now, they're now saying he's 80 million. He's worth 80 million. He is not. He's in no way, shape, or form worth $80 million. That's just the English tax, I guess. A lot of prime clubs have to pay. Like, they especially Man United, we get taxed heavy, bro. We get that English tax heavy. Every team that sells to us, if it's English talent, we get overpriced. That happened with Harry Maguire, and it happened with AWB. But I mean, so be it. But I think, honestly, for looking at midfield options, I think we go for Van de Beek, and we go for Thiago Alcantara. Oh, that man is so saucy. Oh. If you have seen Thiago Alcantara play ball, oh, bro, like, man, he's ridiculous. That's a man, like, I know I said in my last video, Paul Pogba, it hasn't necessarily been able to run a midfield. Thiago Alcantara, that man can run a midfield. The man will dictate the tempo and, like, beat you with some saucy touch. Oh, he's so good. Oh, he's ridiculous. Thiago Alcantara and Van de Beek, honestly speaking, I haven't really seen Van de Beek play that much, except in the Champions League. And in the Champions League, he has played really, really well. So what I think is, Thiago Alcantara, because he's 29 and he's injury prone, but the class, the man is classy, bro. He's saucy. He's saucy. I would take that, because what you realize is, Thiago Alcantara is a bench option. Imagine having Thiago come off the bench, spraying balls to Martial off the bench, bro. Oh, we win the league. We win the league. We would win the league. Stop. We would win the league. We'd win the league. That's fine. We would win the league. It's okay. But that's a pipe dream because I feel like Liverpool's gonna get him, and if Liverpool get Thiago, oh my god, bro! I already told you they're 5 midfielders. If they add, bro, I'm livid because they just got rid of Adam Lallana, right? So they're gonna need another midfielder. I forgot about Adam Lallana, by the way, but yeah, he's pretty. Man, we need Thiago. We need Thiago. I'm just saying, but Thiago Alcantara can play that Pogba role. And he can also play, he can somewhat play a Max's role, but that means we're really attacking. We can only really do that if we decide, hey, I think we might be like losing a game or something, and we like need goals or whatever, or we need we need a goal to win the game. We bring on Thiago, keep Pogba on, keep Bruno on, and then go boom, like gung ho. But Van de Beek is also a good option because he is pretty versatile across the midfield. He can play 10, he can play 8, he can play 6. That's beautiful. He can play every midfield position to varying degrees of usefulness. But all he plays a 2, right? He plays 2 in the he plays that the formation that I said we should play is kind of the formation that Ollie plays, which is kind of like dope because I saw that. That's pretty like I wanted that and it like happened. But we're not going to talk, like, no, we are going to talk that. Oh, tactical brilliance, thank you. But, we kind of play that double pivot, but it's kind of like that, right? It's not really it's not really this. It's not this. It's this, okay? One of our defensive midfielders tends to shift into a back 3 to receive the ball and distribute, and then, like, we play, right? Imagine Thiago doing that. Coming in, taking the ball off of our center backs, and just spraying the ball to Jadon Sancho. Just spraying it. Just saying, okay, here. And then ridiculousness. It's okay, though. Because he's already played in that double pivot at Bayern, because he plays that position with Joshua Kimmich. That's how they play. That's what they do. They press intensely. He already knows how to play. Like, I'm pretty sure he already knows how to play. And he's used to being on the bench at Bayern sometimes. Like, they will bench him just because he needs it. And I feel like he would be more than willing to accept that sort of role at Man United. Like, come on now. Come on. He would start some games because, Paul Pogba needs rest. Or if Paul gets injured or something like that. He would start. He would definitely start some games. That's facts. He would start games in the Prem. And that's a good... For me, that's a good, like, issue to have. Oh, shoot. I don't know who's going to start today. Paul or Thiago. That's a beautiful conundrum. Imagine thinking, oh, man, I'm not sure. Is Paul going to start? Is Thiago going to start? Is Van de Beek going to start? Is Bruno going to start? Is Partey going to start? Is Matic going to start? That's beautiful. Oh, I want that. That's what I dream for my club. I dream that we have so much sauce, we don't know what to do. Like, we just can't handle it. We can't handle the sauce that we have at our disposal. We're already playing good football. We're already making moves in the window somewhat. Somewhat. We're making moves in the window. I think we'll get some stuff over the line and make some surprises. I don't know, though. Man United worry me sometimes. They worry me. But they don't, during the season, they stress me out. But the transfer window is such a chill time. I'll try to update and put more videos out just because I'm bored and I have nothing better to do. And it's transfer season. So, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in the coming days in terms of transfers. Hopefully some of my predictions come through. I hope. I don't know. I think, honestly speaking, I think for a fact they're signing Jadon. That's really the only signing that I'm 100% sure of. And I feel like usually I would take that as a bad thing, but I kind of feel like that's a good thing now because we're kind of playing stuff close to the chest like a lot of our targets don't come out until we've made like the Gabrielle links didn't start coming until we said, okay, yeah, we're actually interested in this dude. Like we not came out, but we probably leaked it to the person like, yo, we're interested in Mans. Like we want Mans, right? We didn't know this during the summer, even though a lot of in the knows were saying, oh, there's a short list, yeah, 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 yeah. We want Nathan Ake, we want we want this man's. We want this man's and that dude from Villarreal. And it just came out of nowhere because we're playing stuff to the chest, like really close to the chest. And we're not really engaging in stuff until we're like, okay, we're going to do this. And I feel like that's a smart way to do business because you can't get bullied that way. Like nobody knows the moves that you're making. Nobody really knows the amount of money that Manchester United are going to spend this window, especially with sales that are going to happen. Nobody really knows. So nobody can like really lowball us or highball us because it's like, yo, I don't know what moves you're making. I don't know what's really going on. I think that's really smart of Man United. So I'm low key kind of gassed. I'm low key gonna be like, okay, I feel like we can make some moves out here. I feel like we can do some things. But yeah, that's it pretty much. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.